In today's video, I'm going to show you how to add dynamic and interactive forces to your water. So let's get started. Before we begin, it's important for me to say that the features we're going to be looking at today are still under development in Unreal. As you're going to see, there's still some issues with them, and these are things that will get better in future releases. But if you're going to be using these features right now, just keep in mind that they're not fully baked and you may run into bugs. Alright, if you're anything like me, you watched Ryan Brux's demo on this interactive water and you're like, man, that is so cool. I want to try that myself. And so you jumped right into the editor to try it out, and let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so we need to come here to water content. Oh, first, be sure to come over here to view options. And under view options, make sure that you turn on show engine content and show plugin content. And that will make this water content folder visible. So we're going to come to water content, fluid simulation, and you can see there are a couple of test maps here. Let's open fluid sim terrain. So if you were anything like me, you opened up this fluid sim terrain map, which is the one that Ryan Brux was looking at in the epic demo video. And if you come up here under the play button and check simulate, then you can click play right here and you're like, man, I want to see that cool interactive water, and nothing worked. And you're just like, oh, well, this feature must be broken, right? Why isn't this working? It's supposed to be rippling just like it did in Ryan Brux's demo. So let me show you how to fix that. This is Unreal Engine 4.26.1. And the problem is there are a couple of assets that they forgot to include with the water plugin package. And so we're going to come here to water content, fluid simulation, materials, simulation. And we're going to find this this material called M Fluid Sim 01. Let's open this up. And you can see that there's a compile error here, that it's missing texture input. So if we scroll up here to the top, again, we're in M Fluid Sim 01. You can see there's this texture sample here that has an error. It's missing a texture. And what happened is they had this file called rt_foam, but they didn't include it with the release of this content. And so what we need to do is, instead of none here, we're going to drop this down and type foam RT, and that one does exist in the water fluid simulation wave foam section. By selecting this file and putting it into that render target, what we've done is now made it so that this shader compiles correctly. And if we save that and then come back to our fluid sim terrain map file, and now if we hit play, you can see that our interactive water is now rendering correctly. So we've fixed that issue, and we're now able to see these cool ripples. All right, the next thing that we need to do is go ahead and open our map and see if we can do the same thing that they've done in this demo file in our map to go ahead and add interactive water. A couple of things to point out from this demo file. We have this blueprint called BP Fluid Sim 01. And then we have this BP Fluid Impulse Repeating. And we also have this BP Dynamic Force Scale Mesh. So we're going to go ahead and take these and add them to our map. If we come back to our content folder here, again under water content, fluid simulation, and then we're going to come into the blueprint folder here. You can see we have that BP Fluid Sim right there. And so that's what we're going to do. So we'll go ahead and open our map again. All right, so here we are in our map. And the first thing that we're going to do is add this BP Fluid Sim 01. This is the blueprint that drives the whole system. And so now we've added that to the scene. We need to come over here, and the first thing that we want to do is click this Show Simulation Mesh box. And what that's going to do is show us the bounding box or the extents where the simulation is going to occur. You can see we have this checkbox down here called Follow Player. And typically what we want to do is attach this box to the player so that as the player moves around, the simulation will follow the player and happen around where your character is in the scene. But for now, what we're going to be doing is without a player. We're just demoing it here in the viewport. And so I'm going to turn Follow Player off. And now what I can do is you can see I have this item here called Simulation World Size. And as I increase that, you can see that this box is increasing and decreasing in size. I'm controlling the size of the simulation. What I want to do is set that setting to the distance where I want the simulation to happen. We want to localize the simulation kind of around the player because it's costly and we don't want to be simulating splashes way off in the distance where the player's not going to be able to see those anyway. So we need to make sure that we set this simulation world size to just the right size so it's not too big, but also we don't want the player to see ripples stopping at any one point. So we want to make sure that this is large enough for the player to see things around him, but small enough that we're not wasting effort simulating water that's off in the distance. All right, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to come here to constant world depth under terrain mode. And there's a bunch of different options here. Constant world depth means that the ripples are going to completely ignore the depth of the water, and the size of the ripples is just going to be constant. But what we want to do is choose one of these options that has to do with the terrain. Terrain water depth only is going to take the depth of the water with the terrain, but it's not going to take into account the slope of the terrain. So for example, we have this river that's kind of tilting downhill and our water is flowing. And if I choose terrain water depth only, it's not going to take into account that our water is sloped. But since we have a river, we're going to use terrain with elevation. All right, and then the last thing that we need to do is come down here to water body. And here I'm going to select water body river, which is this river that we added to our scene in a previous video. Okay, so with that, I have my BP Fluid Sim set up, and I'm going to save my scene. And the next thing that we're going to do is add one of these example blueprints that adds impulse or forces to the scene. I'm going to add a BP dynamic force component. I'm just going to click and drag that into the scene. And on this component, I need to turn on Show Mesh. And I also need to increase my radius. Right now, it's just 10 centimeters, so it's a pretty small object. I'm going to set this to 100. And I'll save the scene again. And now under Play, I'm going to drop this down and make sure Simulate is checked to just do the simulation here in the viewport, and then I'll hit play. And now what I can do is grab this BP dynamic force component in the scene and move it around. And you can see that when I move it, it's putting forces into my interactive water fluid simulation and causing the fluid simulation to work. And this is pretty cool. It's a really fun toy to play with. And so at this point, we're basically just down to needing to tweak the settings so that we get the results that we want. It looks like our ripples may be a little bit too strong, and also maybe our dampening is a little bit too strong. So I'm going to come back over here to our BP dynamic force component and maybe turn the strength down to maybe 0.1. And then on our fluid sim, I'm going to turn the damping down to 0.01. And let's see what we get. Oh, you know what? We need to hit stop here so we're not doing the simulation. If you change settings while the simulation is on, they don't actually stick. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to turn our strength down to 0.1 on the dynamic force component. And on the sim, I'm going to turn our damping down to 0.01. And we'll save that again and hit play. And now we'll move our BP dynamic force component around again. And you can see I'm getting a little bit better results. So at this point, it's just a matter of tweaking these things to get them to look the way that you want. All right, I'm going to select my BP Fluid Sim again and turn off Show Simulation. You only need to have that Show Simulation mesh on while you're sizing this simulation world size. Once that's done, you can just turn that off and you should be good. All right, so if I turn my simulation on again, I can move around my dynamic force component and see that it's contributing to the fluid simulation. It's pretty cool. Let's try the BP dynamic force scale mesh. So I'm going to grab that blueprint and add that to the scene. And we're going to adjust a couple of settings. Make sure the force radius is set to 32. And the force strength, again, we're going to turn that down to 0.1. And when we turn on our simulation for the BP scale mesh, you can see that he's not really contributing anything at all. So let's stop this. I'm going to double click the BP dynamic force scale mesh here to go ahead and open up the blueprint. If we take a look at this blueprint, you can see that there's this water level item here. And we actually need to adjust this. So if we go back to our scene again and take a look at our BP Fluid Sim 01, you can see that it's located at a height of 6868. So let's go back here to our blueprint and set the water level to 6868. And we'll save that and come back to our world. And now we'll simulate. And you can see that now our skeletal mesh is also contributing to the simulation of the water. As my character is moving around, you can see that his movement is contributing to the water simulation. Can you see how it's flowing downhill like this? The reason that it's flowing downhill like that is because I have my BP Fluid Sim set to terrain with elevation. If I just set this to constant water depth, and then we turn on our simulation again, now you can see the simulation is happening around the character, but it's not actually being affected by the elevation or the slope of the river. It's just happening in place, and it's not taking into account that this river is flowing downhill or the velocity of the river. And so that's why I like to use terrain with elevation, because it's actually taking into account the fact that our water is flowing downhill, and it makes the simulation flow in that direction away from the player character. Pretty cool. And it's really neat how with this water update in Unreal 4.26, they've made it so simple to add a fairly complex system to your level. So all you have to do really is add BP Fluid Sim 1, and then whatever forces you want to affect the water to your scene, and you get these really neat dynamic fluid simulations going. Of course, there are a lot of other things to explore. We need to figure out how to attach these fluid simulations elements to our logs and to our player character mannequin. And we also need to get foam working. So those may be some topics that we explore in a future video. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video and that you learned some things about the water simulation and interactive water in the new version of Unreal. and that you come back next week and we'll keep exploring these topics of adding interactive water to our scene. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next week.